I've asked this on the show a few times lately. Where's Churchill? Where's Reagan? Where's Lincoln? Where's Washington? Where's anybody? We got Soros. Got him. We got the president. We seem to have socialists everywhere. Brazil, everywhere. Where's the person standing up for freedom? Where's the person on the national stage standing up for Israel? Do you see him? I mean, really standing up. You got Benjamin Netanyahu, but that's pretty obvious. Tonight, I'd like to add my small little voice and make a declaration as clear as humanly possible that I know what time it is. I've done my homework. I'm also a spiritual guy. God's not going to hold us unaccountable for what we do or do not do, for what we say or do not say. We must stand and be clear. I stand with Israel, and where is anyone else? Now, that doesn't mean you blindly support everything you do, but I stand with them. Now, I know the blogs, especially the Soros blogs, who are hiring more and more interns every day. They're creating jobs. They're going to call me a fraud or a crazy man or an anti-Semitic Jew lover. I don't even know how that one's even possible, but they've tried it. But I will stand. I don't know how long it's going to take for the world to right itself, but I at least know where right is, and that is where I will stand. Each of us have to ask ourselves, do you stand with the people in this dogfight over in the Middle East? Do you stand with the people that are the most like Americans? They make mistakes. They do. We do too. We suck sometimes as a country. Most times we don't. But we're at least trying to do the right thing, and so is Israel. Or do you stand with those who are teaching to hide, blackmail, rewrite history? People who are trying to destabilize and create fear. I mean, if that's where you are, what's the difference between you and a terrorist? I would rather stand with the surviving members of the Fogel family. I would rather teach my children the lessons of that brutal murder that were taught by the surviving members. I'd much rather teach my children about this family and these lessons than the lessons of those who hand out cake in celebration of those who killed that family. Name the country in the Middle East that has the values, generally speaking, that we have. I can only name one. Why are we standing with all those who are against Israel? They've tolerated more provocations than probably any other country in history. And despite having enough arsenal of nukes to obliterate their enemies, believe me, they can take care of themselves. How many have they lobbed? Answer, 0. While everyone complains about all the evils that Israel has done to the Arabs and then picks apart each tiny imperfection with their democracy, by the way, a republic is ugly. Tens of millions of Arabs, tens of millions, have suffered atrocities at the hands of their own countries. Gays are still tortured today and killed. Bloggers jailed without cause, women humiliated, raped, and murdered, dissidents killed, protesters shot, terrorists born, suicide bombers given by their mothers. But Israel is the evil one? That's the obstacle to peace? Let me ask you this. How many homosexuals have been stoned to death by the Israelis? How many adulterers have been buried up to their neck in sand and stoned to death in Israel? How many bloggers have been jailed without cause? How many terrorists are wearing a yarmulke? But now, the world is being led to the water. That Israel is the evil one, and it's about to drink. Don't drink that water. They have measurably, no, it's the Middle East. They have immeasurably more freedom than any other Middle Eastern nation. Women are free, to drive. Women and our daughters can walk alone in the streets without being stoned or jailed. You can bring a Bible or a Quran into Israel. When a woman can't walk down the street alone and be safe, and not because she's in a dangerous neighborhood, but because she walked alone without a man, how do you possibly stand with that country? How do you possibly stand with that, with a group of people that say, I'm going to kill you if you don't go to my faith? A country that treats women or people who are at all different like a dog, treats a woman as a piece of furniture or a sexual toy that can be raped, and the courts will allow it. How is it that a country like ours actually listens to those evil people saying this is evil, and we believe it? How many Israelis have taken someone off the streets and then beheaded them on videotape just for political reasons? Our administration is siding with the wrong side. They are standing against good and encouraging evil in the Middle East. We are reprimanding the nation that is as flawed as we are and protecting the aggressors. We're protecting the killers and the terrorists. We have gone from a nation who was doing the wrong thing by siding with Mubarak to a nation who is doing an even greater evil by arming Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood, which empowers Iran and also, in the end, destroys Israel. It is not difficult to tell good apart from evil. Let's start with some simple ideas. Voting rights. Generally speaking, which is better? Voting rights of Iran, Muslim Brotherhood, those who ran Al-Qaeda? How about free speech? Rights of women, rights of homosexuals. America and Israel? Or the people we seem to be siding with? I stand tonight with Israel.